Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the This is the Music Meets Podcast, an independent podcast show that's dedicated to introducing you to rising indie and alternative artists from across the UK and Ireland. If you are new to the podcast, then please hit that subscribe button so you never miss out on any future episodes, and feel free to leave a comment as it really will help us beat those algorithms. It's time for episode 112. And I'm delighted to be joined by one of Manchester's finest emerging bands in Mercy Kelly. On today's episode, we're going to find out how the band started, have a little chat about their latest single, All You've Ever Known, supporting Ted Sabley from The Killers, their musical idols, plans for 2024, and much, much more. So it is quite literally a warm welcome to Leon, Jack and Jacob to This is the Music Meets Podcast. Chaps, thanks very much for coming on. How are you all doing?
We're all right. We're all good, I think.
Yeah, doing good, man. Thanks for having us.
Yeah, not a problem at all. It's really good to have you here. Looking forward to this one. Obviously, I know we've been chatting on and off for a little while on socials. So it's been a long time coming, as they say, to get us all together. We've obviously got quite a lot to talk about. But before we do, let's sort of find out a little bit more about the people within the band. So, Leon, I'll start with you. What do you do within Mercy Kelly? What's your role?
I am the drummer for Mercy Kelly. I'd like to say I contribute quite a bit to the band. Just the man behind the beats and the grooves, I'd like to say.
Cool. Jack, how about yourself?
Well, I sing. I'm the mental one in the band. I think I'm like the Freddie Mercury. No, I'm just the front man. So that's me.
I just play guitar and look good.
Brilliant, great stuff. So how then did Mercy Kelly start? Because I think I'm right in saying that it was a duo initially, right?
Yeah, so it was me and Adam back just around, probably just before COVID. I met Adam, who's a guitarist who unfortunately couldn't meet. I think he's got the lurgy or something, a tonsillitis. Me met at an open mic night, and I'd known his dad. I'd seen him a few times before, and then he brought Adam along, and we started playing together. But then he approached me and we said, what did he say? He said, it was his dad saying, I've got a son, and do you want to start a band? Because obviously, really, we was into the same stuff, like the same band, which obviously we'll go over a bit later on in the show. And then from there, we just started writing music at COVID. COVID was a blessing. Started going out, being sneaky, going to each other's houses. Started off at video call, but you can't really do that with the delay and stuff.
Yeah.
We just formed it since then. We got a couple of members in between, but we just it started off as me and Adam, basically.
Yeah, sure. And how then, Leon, Jacob, how then did you guys join the band?
It's a funny story with me, unless you want to go first, Jacob.
Oh, no, you go first. It's all right. Mine's not that long.
Right, well, mine's quite a funny story because it turns out they'd just lost the drummer beforehand. So they put an ad on Facebook, and my dad got in touch. We found a little meeting place in Bury. We had a little practice session, and it went awfully. Thankfully, in the end, we pulled it all together and ended up somehow managing to get the part. Turns out Jack didn't even turn up for that original thing, which I'm just going to say right now. It was just me and Adam who turned up for the actual meeting because someone couldn't make it. And then eventually it all sort of just kind of bonded on. And I met Jack 2 weeks later, a bit late, but we got there in the end. And it kind of sort of gelled together, and I'm still here later on.
Sure.
Oh, I'm the newest member to join. I think I joined around the end of February, start of March this year. I was in a band before, and things came to an end there. So I was looking for another like-minded set of individuals, and then I heard Mercy Kelly were after guitarist, and I was very familiar with them. So I thought, well, it's the perfect like opportunity to join, really. So yeah, things are going good.
Yeah, no, they definitely are at the minute. For you boys, you know, sort of flying at the minute. But where did the name come from? Was that Jack? Was that already something that you and Adam had in those initial, you know, sort of lockdown sessions, or did that sort of come as band members were being added?
I think, if I can remember, I think our first ever gig we did at the Castle, proper gig just after COVID. Oh no, it might have been before actually. Yeah, no, it was just after COVID was at the Castle, and that we was under Jack Connor, which is my middle name.
Yeah,
and it was just Adam as an acoustic partnership. Where Mercy Kelly came from, it was more of a. I'm really into like short, snappy names, and not like the something or the, you know, it's quite that stood out. And Mercy Kelly was. I always listened to a song. I can't remember where I heard it from, but it was by a band called Trader Horn, and it was "Goodbye Mercy Kelly." That's the song, and I actually did some research in the song, and it was about a police serial killer. I think he was called Mercy Kelly, and he was in Manchester, in the American Manchester, New Hampshire. So I saw like merged them both together, and you know, we're from Manchester in England, and I thought, oh, that's a cool name.
Yeah.
There became Mercy Kelly. It's quite a long-winded story, but I thought, you know what, I like the name, so let's stick with it.
Yeah, no, that's cool, man. I like that. And in terms of like the band's sort of music and sort of sound, I'm trying to think for maybe someone that hasn't heard you yet. How would you describe the Mercy Kelly sound to someone?
Impossible. So hard question. I get it. We get it all the time, and I do not know how to explain it. It's so weird. Maybe me and Adam are really into like the Smiths, the Cure, bands like the Cure, like new wave bands. U2, massive influences in us. So we sort of like started writing. Adam started writing melodic riffs because he's massively into Mar and The Edge and all that lot.
Yeah.
As the band's progressed, I feel like our sounds developed with obviously the other boys' influence of all like sort of like, it's just like a bit in a big press, and then came out. It came out as it is. It's weird. It's really sound. It's rock. That's the easy way of saying it, but I don't know. What do you guys think?
I think it's like it's 80s influenced in a way. 80s rock sort of influenced. But obviously I think like with most bands, each individual member has a sort of own taste in music. So I think you always get like a nice blend, like a cocktail of inspiration in a way. So you can hear different parts of different bands from different members. So I'd probably say it's closely, the closest thing to it is probably like a 80s rock sort of thing, but obviously with a 2024 twist.
Nice. I'm liking that sound. So obviously the start of this month, you released your latest single that's called All You've Ever Known, and we're going to put the link to that in the episode bio as well. And from what I've seen across social media, it's had a pretty good reaction. So yeah, what's your reaction to the reaction that you've had to it?
I mean, we want more, of course we do. It's about trying to branch to the masses, but the reactions we've got so far has been overwhelming, really. It's difficult, isn't it? Because I think as soon as you put out a release, you're expecting people to go crazy, and it does get like that. It's high expectations, but this one in particular, I think we went in with like a steady mindset and just thought, you know what will be. Wasn't expecting too much, and we've got some interesting gigs off the back of it, which hopefully will progress in the future. I think that's probably the best thing to say. I don't know, what do you guys think?
Well,
How about you have a go?
Oh, hang on. We've done it again. Jacob. In my opinion, it's done a lot better than I thought it would, to be honest with you, because as Jack said, we had a bit more of a laid-back approach to sort of it kind of thing. And I think it's done a lot better than we thought it would originally. And then I think that's carried on a bit more towards the gigs that we get on the back end of it, like Jack said, because it's such a different sound to everything we've had so far. It's more like a sort of more upbeat rocky song compared to like any more or Maidens. So it's kind of like a bit more of a different style sort of thing, and it's done quite well to sort of developing the sound, as Jack said. It's sort of in a bit of a change. It's gone quite well, which I thought was quite surprising for us, to be honest.
Yeah, I think for me, it is totally different to the music that has been released before. So it, and also there was a bit of a break between the release before Fever. So you always, I mean, a lot of the marketing within the industry is built on momentum and algorithm. So it's all sort of how much you can post about it, and if there's going to be a bit of a quiet spell before, it's never going to hit the heights that you'd dream it would. At the same time, the reception and feedback we've had from it's been incredible. Like so a lot of the comments we've had and plays that we've had off independent shows, it's just been fantastic, really, to sort of, it sort of reminds you what you're doing it for, you know, when you see the genuine people who really enjoy it. So like Jack said at the start, it's been an overwhelming sort of response, but at the same time, we'll always take more if we can get it. So it's just about hard work, you know.
Yeah. So on previous releases, then have you guys like actually set yourselves, you know, like targets? You know, say for example, at the end of week one, it's got to have X amount of streams, and you sort of change. It sounds like you changed tact maybe a little bit on this release, on regards to that sort of thing.
Yeah, no, we did. Go on, sorry, Jack.
No, go on. No, I don't want to interrupt you.
No, we don't. I don't think we really do aim for like X amount of streams, X amount of listens. As long as we know that we've maximized everything we can going into it. So you know, I mean, if we upload the song, if we release the song and then don't do anything, you know, obviously you're not going to get any sort of traction whatsoever. So as long as we can put everything into getting it to a point where we can be proud of, I think that's sort of the best way we can do it. But I do think going forward, we will look into milestones and targets and deadlines sort of thing, you know, a bit more structure.
Yeah, sure. And on this song then, so how did it come about? What sort of inspired the track, and did like the recording and writing process, was that different on this release to any of the previous releases you've done, or are you just keeping, you know, that same sort of, you know, like momentum going on that side of things?
Well, this song was quite a funny story behind it. We went in to record a couple of, I think it was start of last year. We went to record 2 new singles after recording Fever and Wild and Free. So we went to Sugar House, the same studios we recorded the previous 2 at, and we came in with the idea that we was going to record 2 other songs, and the lads at Sugar House listened to it, said they wasn't singles, like they wasn't single worthy songs. It was a bit too long and all this, and we was kind of lost. We've got loads of songs. I've got loads of songs in my diary, but journal, what should I say? But we came into the studio with the impression of writing these songs. They said no, our songs are too long. So I'd actually written All You've Ever Known as we'd gigged it a few times, but I'd written it when we first started.
Right.
So it's an old song, but it was actually originally called Relapse, and it was a long song. And Eddie the producer said, Eddie and Lee said, have you got anything else? So we played them Relapse, and they said that's the one. And we sort of trimmed it and chopped it and changed it, and then it came out as All You've Ever Known. We changed the name, some of the lyrics, and yeah. that's how it came about.
Well, it was a 5-minute song, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was. Yeah,
5 minutes at one point.
Yeah, it was. Dragged.
So how then do you got? You saying there about like recording and stuff? Obviously, when you're ready to go in, how do you decide? Obviously, on this occasion, you've been told not to go try and do something else. But how do you guys decide what songs you're going to go and record in the studio? Like, is it something that you all sort of have to agree on, or is it like one band member's really pushing a particular song? What's the process usually like?
Just feel like in person. I think we do have an idea, but them ideas could completely change.
Yeah.
We've got the material behind us, so we have fortunate enough to obviously if a song that we believe is not or gets set back again, we get set back on, we'll do another one. But Jacob, what were you going to say?
Yeah, so we're going to be meeting my producer, or a producer I've worked with in the past, for the next recording. And sort of whenever in the past I've wanted to record a tune, I'll always play it to the producer who I'm going to be working with and see which one, which demo he prefers, or which one will sound good, or which ones need more work. So there's always that as well. So you've got obviously the songs that you want to record, and then you've got the songs that logistically are going to be better for releasing, or easier to finish, the more polished, etc. So
yeah, sure, okay, and obviously as we've been saying, you obviously first started releasing music back in 2021. So you've put out six releases so far. Have you got a personal favourite track?
You go first.
My favourite track.
Yeah.
Of the 6 releases, yeah.
Yeah.
Agree on this.
Well, I'd probably personally say Fever, because I actually wrote that in anger, and that just came in the studio. That just not the studio. That came in the practice room like bang. I just came in one day and just played it to you, didn't I, Leon and Adam, and we wrote it in the space of an hour, the full song.
About an hour and a half, yeah.
Yeah.
It was probably that.
I feel like that's one of them songs that just come from the gods. It sounds corny. Actually, I feel like it really did. Other than that, anymore, just because it was my first song.
Yeah,
I'd actually wrote for the band, so that means a lot to me. We probably will obviously redo that on an album and stuff, and we actually got a really good reception off Anymore when we first released it as well. I feel like that was the best reception we got overall. But yeah, Fever's probably my favourite.
Cool. How about you, Leon?
Again, Fever. It's just my standout one. I love it a bit. It's just so different to everything else. It's fast paced, and it's also just my sort of stuff. I'm so proud to have recorded that song. I absolutely love it to pieces. So that's my favourite one.
Brilliant. And how about you? Are we going to get a full house here, Jacob?
He's going to say a different one now.
Yeah.
Well, I don't. I'll say. I'm going to say All You've Ever Known, because our latest release.
Yeah.
And I love it. But no, yeah, Fever's. I do love Fever. I love all the tunes, to be honest. But I'm excited to be a part of recording the next set as well. So, I think it's up there between Fever and All You've Ever Known for me.
Brilliant, great stuff. Yeah, two brilliant choices there from you guys. So let's talk about live music, because obviously you have been pretty busy in the last couple of weeks with a couple of live shows. But before that we come on to that, you guys have obviously just announced a big show. So yeah, tell us all about it. When's it going to be?
Go on, Simo.
Right, on Saturday, the 31st of August, we will be headlining the Castle Hotel in Manchester, and it's going to be a special night. we're hoping it'll sell out in pretty good time as well. So it's going to be thoroughly enjoyable.
Yeah, sure. And is that gonna be, like you're saying a special show? Have you got a new single coming out to coincide with that, or is that under wraps at the minute?
there might be some announcement around the same time, but I can't say what and I can't say when. So
brilliant, love that. So obviously, as I say, you've got you've obviously had a couple of pretty decent gigs in the last few weeks. You supported Sam Sherdle at 33 Oldham Street up there in Manchester, and you've also as well been rubbing shoulders with indie royalty in Ted Sabley, who of course is the guitarist in the Killers. So just tell us a little bit about the gigs. What was the experience like?
I'll tell you what, the Ted one was incredible. It was absolutely amazing. And to say that I'm not really an indie person, I'm sort of more of a rock, sort of heavy rock sort of person. So it wasn't really my sort of thing.
Yeah.
To meet someone who was, to say, so high up in the music world, and he was just such a nice person. He was so down to earth. He was so grounded. He was absolutely lovely to be around. He made sure that every other person who bought a ticket, he went and said hello to everybody. It was brilliant to see him. The gig itself, again, it was great. It was my first ever time playing a cajon, because it was an acoustic one we did. And it was the first ever time I ever played a cajon in my life, and I thought that absolutely mess it up. But it was so good just to sort of just see everyone sort of came around, sort of supported us in the end, because obviously we don't usually do acoustic sort of stuff. We're more like a rock sort of pumped up band. Let's take a step back and do an acoustic one. We were all a bit like, hey, we're all a bit breaking it a bit. But everyone seemed to really enjoy it, and it was just such a good experience, that gig. It was fantastic, that one. The Ted one, great.
Yeah, sure. And did he give you guys any sort of advice at all?
We did ask him, and he did quite a bit to be. He did. It was fair play to him. He gave us quite a bit to work with, and I'm going to keep it a secret so that no one else can have it.
And more importantly, did he offer you guys a support slot with the Killers in the future?
No, he didn't. No, that's one thing I've got a boat pit with him about. He didn't do that for me.
When I first walked in for sound check, he was like, I'm not going to do the accent because I'm appalling at accents. I could do one accent, an Oldham accent. He just went, I'm so sorry we couldn't get you supporting the Killers this time, he said. So,
the door's open, right?
Yeah. Well, that's it. You've just got to keep friends, keep a rapport with him. It was an amazing. It was so intimate, and obviously, Dave Cooning came as well. He just actually missed us. He didn't actually get to see us perform, but we had a beer with him after. And he said, I introduced myself, and he said, I noticed your T-shirt's in the back. He said, can I buy one? And I was like, Leon had actually left, because Leon's dad, Richard, has the merch, and he'd left, and I was like spewing. I was like, no. I managed to one of my mates had bought a T-shirt, so I managed to sort him out with one. So hopefully he's got it.
Did you charge him for it?
Pride.
No, did I?
No freebies.
I was starstruck, Simo. I was starstruck.
No, I'm joking. I'll turn a blind eye to the Killers members.
So when you guys look back on like the musical journey of Mercy Kelly so far, has there kind of like been anything that's been, like a personal highlight, or sort of something that you've been, really wanting to, to get off of your bucket list, either personally or maybe from like a, like a band perspective?
Band perspective bucket list. Let's just say headlining Glastonbury. Let's just get that one out of the way.
Yeah,
get it all done and sorted.
Very topical this week.
But I think a big turning point for us. I don't know if Jack will agree with me on this. It would have been we did an Off the Square gig. We headlined it about a year ago, and it was one of the gigs that made us just go, we've got something in it, because it was full of people that didn't really know us. There's a couple of people that obviously did, and it was quite there was quite a lot of people there that didn't really know who we were. It was quite a packed out gig at Off the Square in Manchester, and it was an absolute It was fantastic. It was one of the best gigs I've ever done. Everyone seemed to love it, and then you had people singing songs that obviously they didn't know. Like Fever, had come out like a month before, and just had people that you'd never seen before singing your song. It was absolutely fantastic. It was great. It's one of the best gigs I've ever done personally. And I think it made us wake up and go, we've got to get into this sort of stuff now. We've smashed it ever since, I think.
Yeah.
Jack,
Sure.
do you agree?
I agree 100%. That gig was, it was just, it felt like it was the start, wasn't it? It was really good. Everyone loved it. You've said everything. I felt in my element, and we just, if we can recapture that, which I think we're just starting to do now, it was fun. It was really fun gig, and that's all I can say. Yeah, enjoyed it. more.
Absolutely. And how about you, Jacob?
Well, because I've only been in the band for a couple of months, it's my sort of milestone would be one of, I think I've only done 3 gigs. So I think that the milestone would definitely be the acoustic show we did a week or 2 ago with Ted Sabley. That was really good. I think we showed just how much potential is there working within the acoustic set, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Because I think you can paint over the cracks with a lot of production and electronic stuff, and to strip it back to 2 guitars and 1 cajon. I think it just proves to not only to us but to everyone. I think there's something good gonna come.
Yeah, sure, definitely, absolutely. Okay, so on every This Is the Music Meets podcast, we ask all our guests a series of questions that are kind of like designed to be a little bit more light-hearted, and help the listeners find out a little bit more about you as an artist. So the first question is, what artists on the underground new music scene have you been checking out over the last 12 months?
It's quite a good one, this. There's been quite a few. There's too many to name.
This is where you'll
help me out, Jack.
You know, this will. The difference is in tastes and styles.
It really is. Someone help me out. I'm just thinking of a big.
I'm really into singer songwriters. So like acoustic singer songwriters. So I've actually listened to a lad who I was driving home from work one day, and it popped up on, because normally when you have a playlist on Spotify or whatever, I listen to Amazon. It's normally like, flick that one. That one's okay, blah blah blah. But there was one that stuck with me, and I've listened to him ever since. It's called Louis Dunford. I think he's amazing. Like he's got a song called Boss Man, and I really like that. I dig that sort of stuff. So I'd say Louis Dunford. Any other bands? I really like. They're not such underground, but newish bands. The Snuts. I love like the Snuts. Their class. Who else? There's a band called the Lounge Society as well. They're pretty cool. I've seen them a couple of times. So that's my sort of taste. But singer songwriters mainly for me.
Yeah, sure. Okay. How about you, Jacob?
So we gigged with a band last week called Trip, TRIIIP, and they're like a 3-piece sort of. It's hard to explain. It's a little bit sort of. They reminded me of a band called Demob Happy. It's sort of like a 3-piece rock outfit, but it's quite stop-starty. I'm struggling to find the word to describe it, but it was really cool, and that's sort of like my thing. But they're really nice lads. I really enjoyed their set. Sam Sherdle as well, who we played with. About a month ago now. I think he was brilliant. He really showed his class. His voice is amazing.
Very good.
Yeah, there's quite a few. There's a solo artist as well who I'm friends with. He's called Caden Nolan. He's from the Middleton area of Greater Manchester, and he's also a brilliant singer-songwriter artist who's actually at Glastonbury. So they're my top 3, I'd say, at the moment. I think they're all equally brilliant.
Yeah, agree. I've only just come across Caden myself in the last few months and been really impressed with what he's put out, and obviously, as you say, Sam Sherder as well is fantastic. So, Leon, how about yourself?
You see, now Jacob just nicked my answer. My answer was Sam. But there was also a different band that we did it was the Off the Square gig, and I couldn't stop listening to them after we'd done it because they had so much energy and passion behind the music. It was great. They were called Plastic Art is what they were called. I was welking about them. Jack wasn't that great about them, but he still quite liked the music they did. But I absolutely loved them. I'm not too sure if they're still about, to be quite honest with you, anymore. But they were great, is what I'd say. They were fantastic on record, and they were quite good live as well. So Plastic Art would be mine.
Brilliant. Okay, yeah, a couple of artists there for me to go and check out, and a few that I'm fairly familiar with. So the next one is you're allowed to see one final song from your favourite artist in your favourite venue. Who are you choosing?
For me to go first.
Yeah, please.
Well, I've had this question before actually, and I remember regretting the answer. I remember the answer that I said was the Beatles playing "Hey Jude" at the Ritz in Manchester.
Yeah,
and I thought, yeah, that's my favorite band, my favorite song, my favorite venue. But I just don't think the Ritz and "Hey Jude." I don't know. It just doesn't go, does it? "Hey Jude's" more for like Wembley or the Albert Hall, not the Ritz.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna let the other two lads go first, and I'm gonna go back to the drawing board and get a better answer.
Jack, go on.
Well, I'll always say the same. My favourite band of all time, no questions asked, are Thin Lizzy. I brought it up before. I love Phil Lynott. He's my idol, my absolute number one.
Mm-hmm.
So I'd probably say they actually had the opportunity, and I feel like that's what knocked Phil Lynott for six to play Live Aid. I feel like I think it was actually U2 that took the place of someone, but I'd probably see if I could see Phil Lynott and Thin Lizzy live, it would be somewhere dead close to home, somewhere I can walk to. Maybe Whittles in Oldham, so I can go and get the bus and go and watch him next door. That'd be a dream. That gig. But yeah, that Thin Lizzy definitely. I would have loved to have seen them live.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, and how about yourself, Leon?
I still haven't figured out the answer today.
No,
I haven't figured out the answer.
All right, I'll go.
Oh no, Jacob, go on then.
I'll buy you some time. I'll go for Led Zeppelin at I go for Led Zeppelin at the Ritz. Yeah, either the Ritz or the Albert Hall, both in Manchester. Amazing venues. Did you say song as well, or just artist?
You can. It's one final song. Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. I'd probably go for like Heartbreaker, stroke Living Maid. That's like me two sort of. Like, you can't really. I know the two separate songs, but you can't really separate them.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
It's just not stopping.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
A melody.
Right, I'm going to have a stab at. It's going to be the band. It's going to be quite a far-fetched one compared to these lot. It's going to be Bring the Horizon. The song's going to. Oh, I'm sure, Jacob. The song's going to be Doomed, and it's going to be in Blackpool at the Waterloo.
That's a great venue, though. To be fair, the Waterloo is a fantastic venue. So you've redeemed yourself there. Redeemed yourself.
And sticking with kind of like sort of, I guess, more established artists maybe or whatever, but what are your top three albums of all time?
Ooh. I have 3 shirts up on my wall, and they're all different genres to what we've got. I've got Slipknot on the wall, I've got AC/DC, and I've also got Iron Maiden on the wall. I've also got Hot Wiggles t-shirt up there, so I'll have to give one of the albums to them. I'll give an album to Iron Maiden because they're quite nice. I'll have the album of Number of the Beast, if you might have heard of that one. It's quite an influence on my drumming. And then the third album, what will my third album be? You know what? It'll be whatever is. What my third album? Someone come back to me on this. I can't think.
Done him. How about you, Jack?
Oh, the Joshua Tree. That's an amazing album.
Yeah.
Gosh, this is hard. This when you put on the spot. That many good albums, isn't there? There's that many good albums. Actually, The Killers, Hot Fuzz.
Yeah.
Maybe. And then maybe I'm gonna have to put a Thin Lizzy album there as well. Black Rose, Thin Lizzy. That's one probably my most listened to album.
No, that is a good album.
Yeah. Loving those choices. And how about you, Jacob?
Right, I'm gonna go for something old, something new, and something. I might go for something fairly local as well, if that makes sense.
I like the style here.
Something old.
Can I take a guess?
Go on.
Fontaine's DC, one of their albums. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah, that's one.
Yeah, I know my band members very well.
Yeah, I'd probably go for me. Well, I'll start my old one. So, 1967, The Beatles, Sgt. Pepper, Sgt. Pepper's Lonely Hearts Club Band, the best album of all time, guaranteed. I go for something new as obviously Fontaine's DC with Skinty Fia, and something local. I'm gonna say, I know it's a bit like it might be a bit too much this, but the Blinders, their debut album, I think it was titled Columbia. It was just so listenable. It was so big. It sounded massive for a 3-piece, and I think they've gone on a bit of a hiatus of the last couple of months. That's a bit of a shame, really. But they were one of my favourite. They were from Doncaster, but I think they studied and started the band in Manchester, so that's why I'm going with them as a local band.
Yeah, cool, lovely. Yeah. So, what would be your favourite TV series of all time?
The Sopranos.
Straight in. Wow, bang.
That's
no
it.
pressure
Done.
now, lads, for you two.
That's it. There's no other answer.
I'm stuck between two. White Gold.
Yeah,
Oh,
that's
man.
the 80s double glazing one, isn't it? Is that right? Yeah.
I got a no from Jacob then.
They got from The Sopranos to a Channel 4 window framing bloody series.
The age difference, that fella.
I know. It's because I was there in the 80s. I was doing it. That's why.
And how about yourself, Jack?
Oh well, I can think of. I've got two in my head. I was actually counting the other day. No, it was actually this afternoon. How many times I was speaking to my partner? How many times I've watched this series in particular, and I think counted about 25 times. I've seen the whole seasons all the way through, just because it's the great, in my opinion, the greatest show of all time is Benidorm. I just love it.
Oh.
It's so good. I love Benidorm. It's go back to I just get so like Johnny Vegas in it is amazing. He's so a bit more edgy. Timo, you'll probably understand this a bit more if you've seen it, but Life on Mars, that's another great one. I love Life on Mars.
I'll let you have that.
Gene Hunt as a character is a god. He's so good. I can't remember what but Life on Mars is brilliant. So Life on Mars or Benidorm, probably Benidorm edging it just because of how many times I've seen it.
Well, I've got my second answer just to wind up Jacob even more. Gavin and Stacey.
Doctor Who. Oh, Gavin and Stacey. Yeah.
Gavin and Stacey. Cracking series.
He's choosing them for the Essex lad here. That's what it is.
Yeah. Right, I'll tell you what. Take the Sopranos back. I'm going Love Island.
God's sake.
Brilliant. So what would be your dream I've made it moment as Mercy Kelly?
See, we've agreed on this. We've actually, I don't know if Jacob has, but me, Jack, and Joel have. It's where Joel doesn't drink, the bassist doesn't drink. So we've
He's
always
never-
said if we ever headline Glastonbury, we're going to make him down a bottle of Prosecco finally. That is the goal. To make Joel drink. Nothing else, to make Joel drink. That is the goal.
I feel more realistically though, even if we get on at Glastonbury, I've always said all my friends who say, "Have you ever been to Glastonbury?" I say, "No, I will never go to Glastonbury unless I play it." So even if no matter what stage it is, I want to do Glastonbury, and if we get that opportunity, I will look and say, you know what, Mercy Kelly have made it in my eyes. Anything above that is just extra.
Yeah, sure. And Jacob, what about you?
Yeah, I think to be fair, them two boys nailed it. But I may as well just give a bit of a novelty answer. I'd like to see us do a triple deluxe concept album about the moon. That's when I'll retire then.
The moon.
It's bad that I don't get that.
Yeah, no, it's just me being daftly. I don't worry.
What, like the dark side of the moon or the light side of the moon?
No, just just those albums that are just absolutely weird. Sort of there's loads of them. In fact, actually, no, I'd like to make underground Parisian jazz music at Glastonbury with Mercy Kelly, and then that'd be me.
And then that's it. You've done it.
Yeah, that'd be me. That's my novelty answer.
Unfortunately, Jack, Jacob, and Leon, that is the end of the This Is the Music Meets podcast. Thank you so much for giving up your time and coming on tonight. I really, really appreciate it. But just before I do let you go, can you let the This Is the Music listeners know where they can find Mercy Kelly on social media?
So,
which one of us? Me or you?
You go on.
Me. All right. I'll be quick. So our handle changes depending on what social media platform it is. So the easiest way to find us is to go to mercykelly.co.uk, and you'll find links to each of our respective social medias on there. But we're on everything, Spotify, Amazon Music, Instagram, Facebook, X, etc. But yeah, just a quick mention as well. I wanted to say thanks to you as well for supporting us. This is the music over the last however long it's been. We really appreciate it, and thank you again for having us on.
Not a problem at all. Thank you very much for those kind words. It's been great, watching the different tunes that you've got coming out, and you've had coming out so far. And we will put those links in the that you've mentioned there in the episode bio as well, along with the new single link, All You've Ever Known, which of course is out now on all the platforms. So look, as I say, thanks very much for coming on, and I wish you all honestly the best of luck for the future. You seem like a sound bunch of lads to me, and you know where you want to go. So yeah, good luck with it all.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, mate.
Thanks for having us.
Thank you very much.
And all that leaves me to say, no, 3, 2, 1. And all that leaves me to say is to thank everyone for listening to the latest This Is the Music Meets podcast. Please subscribe so you never miss out on any future episodes. And if you are loving the podcast, show us some love by giving us a 5-star rating and written review, as it really does help the artists we interview to be discovered. Thanks for listening, and I'll see you very, very soon for another episode of the This Is the Music Meets podcast.